As a woman, it can be hard to know if your man loves you. It's not that he won't tell you, but just because he says I love you doesn't mean much. Men are different than women in many ways, and one of the most obvious is how they express their feelings. If you're wondering what a man will do if he really loves you, then this article is for you. Less physical attachment and more emotional attachment. I had always been in relationships where physical intimacy was more important to me than emotional intimacy. That caused me to be unhappy in my relationships. I realized, though, that if I focused on the emotional connection of my partner instead of just the physical connection, then it would be much easier for him to let me know that he loved me. He wants to defend you and make sure you are okay. This might be one of the more obvious things a man will do if he loves you. If you think about it, if someone deeply cares about another person, then they will want to protect them from anything that threatens their well-being. This can also be seen if a woman is scared and her man puts his arm around her or otherwise tries to help alleviate her fear. A man who loves you will want to defend you from things that upset you and make sure you are okay in general. He talks to you consistently. This is another one of those more obvious things a man will do if he loves you. He will want to talk to you, share with you, and connect with you on an emotional level. A man who loves his partner wants to know that they are doing well, and he will want to talk to her regularly or as often as possible. This can be in person, over the phone, or through other methods such as texting. A man who loves you will want to talk to you and share with you on a consistent basis. He likes knowing that he is talking to his girl even if it's only for 5 minutes each day. He tells people about how happy he is when he talks about you. Another less obvious thing a man will do if he really loves someone else, he tells others about them, including strangers. This might seem odd at first, but think back. Have there been any times where your partner has talked positively of you without prompting? Maybe they told their coworker how great things are going with their relationship right now, or maybe they said something nice about what an amazing partner you are. If your man loves you, then he's probably already talking about you to other people in his life, good or bad. If they love their partner and want everyone else to know how happy they are with them, then it makes sense that the person would talk positively of them without prompting from others. He wants you to feel special when he is around, even if it doesn't seem like it sometimes. This might be one of those more subtle things a man will do if he really loves someone else, but I think this is an important point nonetheless. He wants to introduce you to his family and friends. A man who really loves another person might also want them to feel like they can be a part of his life and wants them to meet the people that matter most to him. This might not seem like enough, and doesn't always work, but it will show you how much he cares about you and that you're important to him. If your man wants you to meet his friends or family, then he probably cares about you deeply, even if it doesn't seem like it sometimes. He wants to share his world with you and have your support as well. He sees the future with you, so he won't mess things. If any man has the intention of truly loving you, then he will never want to hurt you in any way. He will work closely with you on your future together and will not take anything for granted. He wants to see the future with you, so he won't mess things up along the way. One of the most subtle things a man might do if he really loves someone is he chooses his words carefully. Although this may be something that no one else notices, it nonetheless shows how much more careful and protective they are with their partner's feelings than they would be otherwise. If your man talks with someone he cares about and truly loves, then he will choose his words carefully and not want to hurt them. He might not want the same profession as you have, but he'll still be proud of you and happy for all of the success that you've had throughout life. This is one of those more subtle things a man will do if he really loves someone else, because it's not always easy to show your partner how proud of them you are. One of the more subtle things a man might do if he really loves someone is that he never fails to surprise them. Now, this doesn't always mean with big gestures and fancy gifts, because sometimes it's just as small as sending them a card or a letter that says everything they need to know without even having to say anything. He never fails to surprise you with what he does and how much you mean to him. One of the most significant things a man does when he loves you, but many women don't see, is that he will take care of you. He might do small things like cooking your favorite meal or doing the dishes, but he could also be much more direct in showing just how much he cares. For whatever reason, maybe owing to his upbringing, it may not be the case that he's always very affectionate or even telling you how much he loves you, but the actions that follow show this in a more subtle way. When it comes to someone who really loves another person, they will do whatever is necessary for them and may not need to say anything out loud about their feelings because of this. Your needs must be satisfied, just like his. You shouldn't run around trying to fulfill his every wish, while he gives you nothing in return. Don't forgive any broken promises just because you love him. If a guy isn't mature enough, he'll learn how to do things to benefit himself and you'll be left empty and broken. You can apply this to a marriage as well. When a couple takes the next step and gets married, things shouldn't be that different. Both of you have your own roles when dating, and that should continue into the marriage. Don't settle for someone who does the bare minimum while you're doing too much. He must continue putting in the effort because it's the only way to stay happy in a marriage. Show him the respect he deserves, but remember to respect yourself first. If a man loves you, he will show that to you, no matter what, whether he expresses it through his words or his actions. On the other hand, if he's quiet and shy about his emotions toward you, here are those subtle signs that can tell you for sure that he loves you. He repeatedly seeks ways to make you fall in love with him. If a man loves you, he'll continually try to make sure you fall in love with him. Don't be a girl who does things the other way around. Don't pursue him. If you're insecure about whether or not he loves you, wait for a little while and then make your decision. I know girls who started their relationships by being the ones texting first and making plans for dates. One of the most important things a man will do if he truly loves you is that he won't expect you to change anything about yourself. There's no such thing as changing who you naturally are, and he'll love you for what you are. He might want to help with certain aspects of your personality or habits, but not because he wants to mold you into someone new. Rather, he just cares about the small things that make you happy and desires all the best for them, even if it means letting go of his own happiness. He won't want to change who you are, but rather find ways to make everything easier for you and work out in the end. Men are different than women in many ways, but one of the most obvious is how they express themselves emotionally. If he's never said "I love you" out loud or doesn't seem very affectionate, don't worry, because there are plenty of other signs that show what he feels for you on a more subtle level. He might help support your career, take care of all aspects of your life, from cooking to giving advice, never fail to surprise with something thoughtful like flowers or cards, or even just loving who you naturally are without trying to change anything about you. It all comes down to what he does and how it makes you feel, rather than just saying the words that we can often take for granted in a relationship. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel.